All right, the topic today will be decimals. So decimal numbers. So we are going to consider the four operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of decimal numbers. So when you are given two decimal numbers and you are asked to add, how will you go about it? Or if you are to subtract two decimal numbers from each other, how will you go about it? And also, if you are to multiply two decimal numbers, so and also division, there is a particular step that you are supposed to follow if you want to do that. Now let's start. Let's start. So if you are given for addition and subtraction, if you want to do addition and subtraction. For addition and subtraction, for addition and, so addition and subtraction, the first thing you do is set out the the sum. Set out the sum by lining up the decimal points. This decimal points. Decimal points. Okay, you line it up. Number two, what you do is to fill in any gap. Fill in any gaps with zeros. With zeros. You fill in any gap. And the third step is to add or subtract. Add or subtract the digits one column at a time. One column at a time. So I'm going to explain these three steps for you. So number one, you set out the sum by lining up the decimal points. You line it, decimal points. What do they mean by that? That is, if you have 2.34, if you are to add it with 4.7, so you do it like this. You say 2.34, then 4.7. You line. You see, you can see that the decimal point will be lined up. Will be lined up like this. Okay. Then number two, fill in any gaps with zeros. You know, from this one now, there's a gap here. We fill it with zero so that it's complete. Like we have 7. Add 0 to this, please. Then number 3, you add. You can now add. If you are to add, you add. If it is subtraction, you subtract. Okay, now let me give you the example of that. Example. So example. So number 1, work out 4 4.53 plus 1.6. So the first step, from the first step, is say we set out the sum by lining up the decimal points. Yeah? We set out the sum by lining up the decimal points. So let's do it. Let's do it now. So you now have, let's now set it out. 4.53. Then you line it up. This 1.62 is coming here. It's going to be then 1.6. So you arrange the decimal point. Decimal point will be arranged. No, it's addition. Put the addition here. Decimal point must line up like this. Must line up like this. Okay. Now number 2, what are we asked to do for number 2? Number 2, we are asked to fill in any gaps with 0. Fill in any gap with zeros. It may be more than 1, it may be 1, it may be 2. So let's fill in the gap. So the gap we have here is under 3. Under 3 here, we have gap here. We need to fill it with 0. It now could be 1.60. Then after that, you now do addition. You start the addition. So start from this side. Always start from the right to left. Start from the right to left. Okay. Now 0 plus 3. 0 plus 3 will give us 3. Then 5 plus 6 is 11. So you write 1. You not write the whole 11, write 1. Then you put the 1 here, you carry the 1 and put here. That's the one that remains. You write 1, then you carry 1 to this side. So 1 plus 4 is 5. Then 5 plus 1 will give us 6. So you're going to have point here, you have point here, then you have 6. So this is the answer there. Okay, let's go to another one, another answer, and another example. Number 2. Example number 2. Okay, now 8.5 plus 3.07. Now the first step is to set it out. Write 8.5. So 3 here, now this 3 will be under 8, while the decimal point must be under the decimal point, like this. Yeah? The two decimal points must align like this. Then we now have, 3 is here, now 3.07. So the gap is this place. You have gap here, so you need to fill the gap with 0. So we now have, here we now have 8.50. So we have already filled this gap with 0. Then the next thing is to do the subtraction. Oh, it's subtraction, not addition. It's subtraction, not addition. I want to let me clean it. It's supposed to be subtraction. Yes, supposed to be subtraction. Okay, supposed to be subtraction. Okay, all right. Now I want to subtract. Now 7 from 0 is not possible. You cannot subtract 7 from 0 because 7 is greater than 0. What you are going to do is to come to the next digit here, which is 5. Come and borrow 1 from 5. You borrow 1 from 5 and place it beside this 0. It's become 10. You now have 2 digits here. You now have 10. So you now have the 1 you borrow will be here. So this one now, this 5 now is no more 5. It's now become 4. While in this place now, we have 4 here. This will now have 10. And now say 7 from 10. 7 from 10 will now give you 3. Then what do you have left here? 4. Then 0 from 4, 0 minus 4 will give you 4. Then 3 from 8, 3 minus 8 will give us 5. So that is the answer to give about it. Okay. Now more example. Number 3. 2 plus 1.8. 2 plus 1.8. Write 2. 2 is whole number. Okay. 2 is whole number. Then we have 2. 2 is same thing as 2.0. Then from this, all the whole numbers must be on one side. Like from 1.8 now, this 1.8, the 1 will be under 2, then 0.8. Okay, now it's addition. Now let's fill in the gaps. Fill the gaps with 0. That is 0.0. Is 2.0. 2 is same thing as 2.0. Okay, now let's add. So we now have 0 plus 8, 8, 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1 is 3. So the answer will now be 3.8. Number 4. 2.74 plus 7. So this will give you, let's set it out, 12.74. Then the 7 here is digit. Okay, it's under units. 7 will be under unit here. 1 is tenth. This one is tenth unit. Okay, and we have the place value here. Okay, this is tenth, this is hundredth. Okay, so for this, now this is tenth, this is unit. So 7 here is under unit. So now put 0, fill in the gap with 0. Give 7.00 because we have 2 digits here. So to complete the gap, you continue fill it with the 0. So now have plus here. Now add. So 4 plus 0 give you 4. 7 plus 0, 7. Then 2 plus 7, 9. Then 1. Okay, we need to fill this gap too. Sorry, we need to fill that gap too. Okay, but there's a gap. We fill all the gaps. That we do first. So 1 plus 0 is 1. So that is the answer. Another one. Okay, another one. Number 5. Another one is 23 minus 18.591. Okay, 23 is not a decimal number. It's whole number. So it's whole number. Okay. Now, let's set it out. So 23, on 23, 3 is units, while 2 is tenths. Now 18. 1 is tenths, while 8 is units. So we are reading like this now. 0.591. So let's fill the gaps. 0.000. You fill the gaps. Okay, let's subtract. Now, look at this now. You cannot subtract 1 from 0. 1 is bigger than 0. What you are going to do is to borrow. And you cannot borrow from 0 because it's already is 0. Okay, you come to 3 here. Come to 3. Come and borrow 1 from 3 and put it to this 0. Place it next to this 0. The 0 will become 10. Okay, let's begin to borrow. Let's borrow 1 here. Cancel this one, borrow 1. So I'm left with 2 here. Then I put the 1 here. So I now have 10. From this 10 now, I want to borrow 1 again. The 1 I borrow, this one become 9. Remain 9 here. The 1 I borrow, I put it here. So this is 10. From this one again, I borrow 1 again. It remain 9 here. I put the 1 here. Okay, that's how to borrow. You see how I did. From 3, I borrow 1 from 3. So from 3, the 1 I borrow, I place it beside the first 0 here to get 10. Now what we have here now, instead of 3, it remains 2 there. So from this 9, I need to borrow again because this is where I'm coming to. This is where I'm going to start from. I need to borrow 1 again from 10. It remains 9 here. The 1 I borrow from this 10, I put it here. Then I need to borrow again from this 10 to get 9. I put the 1 here. So now I can now subtract 1 from 10 now. So this is going to give me 9. Then I can now say 9 minus 9. 9 minus 9 will give me 0. Okay, now 5 from 9 is 4.8. Now look at 8. Look at 2. You cannot subtract 8 from 2. It's not possible. You can't subtract 8 from 2. 8 is bigger than 2. What you are going to do is to borrow. You borrow 1 from 2 again and put it beside 2 to get 12, to make it 12. Now let's borrow 1. I borrow 1 here. So this one remain 1 since I borrow 1. So the 1 will now put the 1 here. This will now become 12. So this is now 12. Then I can now subtract 8 from 12 to get 4. Then 1 minus 1, 0. If you like, you can write 0. If you like, you can leave it because it is not, it's 0. So 0, 4 is same thing as 4. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, let me give you another one that is like that. Okay. This one 0.029 plus 1.8. 1.8. Now let's set it out. If this one first. This one first. Okay, now you have 0.029. Then let's come to this side. 1.8 now. 1.8. This is how to arrange it so that the decimal point will be aligned. Then the next thing is to fill the gaps. We have 2 gaps here. Okay, fill it with 0. Then you now add. So 0 plus 9, 9. 2 plus 0, 2. 8 plus 0, 8. Then 1 plus 0, 1. So this is the answer. So I think with this example, you should be able to solve any one given to you. You should be able to solve it. Okay. Should I give you one more? Let me give one more. Give one more. So let's have 91.7 plus 0.0 492. Yes. So let's set it out. 91.7. Now 0.0, then point 492. This is how to set it out. Now let's fill the gaps. Let's fill the gap. We have a gap here under 9 here. We have so up here you need 20 to fill in the gaps. Now we've already filled the gap. So now put addition here. Let's add. Now 2 and 0, 2. 0 and 9, 9. Addition. 7 and 4, 11, 1. So it remains 1. Put the 1 here. 1 plus 1, 2 plus 0. So you're going to get 2 here. Then 9 plus 0, 9. So that's be the answer. Okay. Now let's let me give you the exercise. Let me give you exercise. So number 1, you have to work out the following. 5.1 plus 1.8. Number 2, 8 minus 2.16. So number 3, 9.241 minus 2.8, then 4, 0.946 minus 0.07. Okay. Now number 5. Number 5, it should be 18 minus 12.426. 426. So number 6. That number 6, let me use this. Okay. 9, sorry, 10.83 plus 7.4. Number 7, 0.8 plus 0.013. Then number 8 is 0.0416 plus 1.4. So number 9 will be 330 minus 0.548. Then the last one, number 10. Number 10 will be 6.3 plus 53 0.61. Yes. So take this exercise, solve this, and get it across to me for um, for your assessment, for me to know how well you have understood addition and subtraction of decimal numbers. Okay. Now let's move to multiplication and addition. Multiplication, multiplication, multiplication and division. So multiplication and division. So 3 steps too. You need to take 3 steps. Number one, you multiply each decimal by a power of 10. By power of 10. Number two, no, by power of 10. You multiply by power of 10. Then why do you need to multiply by power of 10? To get a whole number. To get a whole number multiplication. A whole number multiplication. I'm going to explain this. So number two, what you're going to do, number two, is to multiply the whole number. Multiply the whole numbers. Multiply the whole numbers. Then step number three, divide the products. So you divide by the product of divide by the product of the power of 10. You multiplied. Multiplied by in step one. Okay, so I need you to understand this. Number one, the first thing you do is to multiply each decimal by power of 10 to get whole number multiplication. Number two, you have to multiply the whole numbers. You do the multiplication. Then after you multiply the whole numbers, then number two, you divide by the product of the power of 10 you multiply by in step one. Okay, let's see the example for you to understand the example of that. Examples. Number one, you have to work out 0.32 times 0.6. So the first thing you do is to multiply by 10. You continue to multiply by 10 until you get 10 as whole number. Okay, multiply by 10 to get whole number. All right. So when you multiply 0.32 by 10, see, as you are multiplying, its decimal point will be moving like this. Will moving like this. When you are multiplying by 10, you're moving like this. For instance, this is 0.32. Now, if I want this number, if I multiply by 10, decimal point will shift and get to this place. So it will become, this is times 10. Times 10 will give me 3.2. Then 3.2 again. I want to move the decimal to this place, but it's still decimal. So if I multiply by 10 again, it will give me 32. You can see now that 32 is not a decimal number. From this place, if you move the decimal once, that is times 10. If decimal is moving to the right, it's times 10. If it is moving to the left, it's divided by 10. So times 10 will be, with decimal point will move to the right. So now times 10 is already in 3.2. Times 10 again, it's now behind 2. Now we now have 32. Okay, which means for us to get whole number here, we need to multiply by 10 times 10. That is by 100. So you multiply this one too by 10 times 10. Okay, by 10 times 10. Or, yes, multiply by 10 times 10. Or this one can be multiplied by 10. Okay, let's do it like this. So this one, this 0.32 will give you, let's say, 0.32 times 0.6. Okay. Now this one now, times 100 will give me 32 times this one, yes, times 10 will give me 6 times 10 will give me 6. Now you can now multiply the next step. That is what they said in here, that you multiply, so you multiply you multiply each decimal by a power of 10 to get a whole number. Okay, to get whole number. And that is what we did here. To get whole number from 0.32 multiplied by 100, 32. To get whole number from 0.6 multiplied by 10, that is 6. So the next step is to multiply the whole number. Let's do the multiplication now. Let's do the multiplication. That is 32 times 6. Okay. I see now that I want to now multiply 6 times 2. Give me 12. It remain 1. Remain 1. Okay. Keep the 1 there. Now 6 times 3 is 18 plus 1. That is 19. Okay. Now the next step says you are going to now divide by, you will divide by the number, divide by the product of the power of 10 you multiply with. You can see that before you can get 192, you multiply by 100 and you also multiply by 10. So 100 times 10 will give you 1,000. So we're now going to divide 192 by 1,000. So this 192 the same thing as 192.0. Okay, 0.0. So you need to now divide it by 1,000. That is by 100 times 10 here. That's so I'm now going to get So how do you do that? Because you are dividing, the decimal point will be moving like this. 1, how many zero we have here? We have 3. 1, 2, 3. Decimal point will now be in front of 1. So it's going to be 0.192. So this will be the answer. Okay, I think you need more example on this. You need more example on this. Let's multiply this. Okay. 2.1 times 0.6. 2.1 times 0.6. Now, how do we get whole number here? Multiply by 10. To get whole number here, multiply by 10. That is the decimal point to move in front of 1 here. You need to multiply by 10. This one to multiply by 10. So which means you now do something like this. To 21. This is times 10. It's times 10 that gives us 21. This one too, 6, is times 10 that gave us 6. So this step, what you did here is step 1. Get the whole numbers first. You need to get the whole number here by multiply by 10. Multiply by 10. You continue to multiply by 10. Note the decimal point will be moving like this. So it's going to move once for us to get 21. Okay. This one too is going to move once before you get 6. So that's why we are multiplied by 10, not 10 times 10. Okay, the next step is to now multiply 21 by 6. So you set it out. So now it's 21 times 6. You multiply the whole number. 21, sorry. Why did I write 12? I wanted to write 21 times 12. Okay, 21. Yes, let's multiply. 6 times 1, 6. 6 times 2, that is 12. That's multiplication now. Now, the next is now say 2.1 times 0.6 equals to 126 divided by how many tens? We have times 10 here, times 10. 10 times 10 is 10 times 10 will give us 100. And now say divided by 100. Divided by 100. So, and this will give you, when you are dividing, the decimal point will move, the number of 0 here, it's going to move the number of that time to the left. 1, 2. So the decimal point is before 1, between 1 and 2. So the answer will now be 1.26. Okay. Please, one more example. Number 3, one more example. 0.05 times 0.04. For us to get decimal whole number here, the decimal must move 2 times to the left and to the right. And for us to get whole number here, decimal point must move 1, 2. That is another 10 times 10, 100. So, which means for us to get 5 here, times 4. So this we move, this is going to be times 10 times 10 here. 10 times 10. That's 100. You see, when it moves once like this, that is times 10. Another one times 10, that we have 100 here. Then if it moves once here, times 10, another one is going to be times 100 again. So it means for us to get 4 here, it will be times 100. I'm doing it like this so that by the time you understand it, you don't need to put the arrow and times 100 there. So now the next thing you do is to now multiply. Now say 5 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. So you now say 0.05 times 0.04 equals to 20 divided by, now look at this one, we have 100 times 100. What you need to divide it again by the product of the 10. You multiply it by in 1. Okay. And then step 1 is going to be, 10, 100 times 100 is 10,000. That is 1 and 4 zeros. Which that one, it means there are going to be 1, 2. The decimal point will move, because it's division, it will move to the left. If it is multiplication, it will move to the right like this. But if it's division, it will move to the left. It's going to move 1, 2, then 3, 4. Let me show you the movement. We have 20. We're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where decimal point is now. It's going to be 0, 0. Of course, 1 0 will be here. Now it's 0.00. Look at the number it's going to move. 1, it's going to move like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 20. So if it's going to divide by 10,000, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer will be 0.0020. So this will be the answer. So with these examples, I want to believe that you should be able to do the assignment I want to give to you now. Assignment. So assignment number 1. I'm going to do it. Number 1, 0.92 times 10. This one is simple. The decimal point will just move to the right once. Okay. 1.2 times 6. Number 3, 0.61 times 0.6. So number 4, 5.2 times 0.09. And the last one, number 5, is 0.64 multiplied by 0.42. So we need the solution as soon as possible, immediately after the class. All right, until next class, do have a great time.